Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. We are right now together with the other Java tutorials. So this is Hakan and I'm a scientist with 10 years of experience. So today we are going to learn the Java data types primitive. So Java is we mentioned it before, Java is a statistical type language. So this means you must assign the declarate the variables before they can be used. So I'm going to right now share my screen and we are going to starting the coding. So I'm going to open the Intellij, our first tutorials, first lesson. I told how we are going to set up. So if you don't know how to set up, you can just watch the again and download and set up the Intellij. So as also as I mentioned before, I told we are going to we are going to learn Intellij during our videos. So last time I deleted and here the directory and files our lesson previous class. So at this time, I don't want to delete. I want to leave it and I want to open new projects. So we are going to see how I'm going to open how we are going to open the new projects. So we just go to there, file and new, and we just select in here new project. So it is going to be saved already. So in here, it's going to be again Java tutorials. I will just write in here lesson 2 and lesson 3, and it's going to be location Java tutorials directory, the cluster files, and it's going to be lesson 3 under the Java tutorials. So in here, and also when I look at the language, it's going to be Java. Build system is going to be Gradle. So GDK it's going to be 11 last version, and Groovy. I am not changing anything from here, and I will just say create. And it is going to ask me would you like to create in this window. If I click this window, it's going to close this window and open the new window. But if you say new window, it's going to leave this window and it's going to open the other window. So two Intellij going to stay open. So I will just say this window and I want to close the old one and I just go to the new. And we are waiting in here for the building. Gradle build is working right now. It can take a little bit time. It depends on your PC or computer power. So in here right now, we create a new project. So it's built successfully. So right now, what I'm gonna do, I don't need to just need to see what is your dependency, what is the Gradle, where is take your all directory or everything, I mean the all libraries. So I will just close it and I'm going to open new class in here, create, and click the Java. It is you can go directly from here, main, and it's going to starting with the hello words, or you can just keep going to work from there. But as I mentioned before, it's going to be direct from the directory. So I don't want to go there. I want to just, instead of that, go to the Java, and from the Java, I will create the new class. And my new class is going to be data types. But you should know it. We are writing the class with the uppercase, so don't forget it. And I will just click the class, and I will create the new class. So it is going to, as you see in here, I'm not inside the org example directory. I'm right now directly inside the Java. So what I'm going to in here, I will just create in here to execute my codes, to compile my code. I will create in here main, So I just hit the M from the keyboard, and I see in here domain. I get it, and just I enter, and I create in here my run main compile. So right now we talk about it variables and data types. So for example, I'm going to write. We mentioned it in our previous video. I will say integer, right? So what I'm going right now, I just give the assign the type for my variable. What's going to be my variable? Let's say speed. Okay. After then, right now it is assign my variables as an integer. So then when you, what we are gonna do, we are gonna just give it in here. If you didn't watch the literals, you are going to just you should watch it again. So literals means you can give in here any numbers, right? And we talk about our previous video and what kind of literal you can write for the integer. Yeah, let's go to the our 8 primitive data types. So first, it is going to be Boolean type. So Boolean type is has two possible values. So it is going to be either a true or false. So then for the Boolean data type, I need to write before my variables Boolean, right? Because it is integer. So then for the integer, as I mentioned in my previous video, we cannot write in here, for example, false, right? And it's going to be give the warning. So what is going to be? It's going to be Boolean. So right now I assigned my variables as a Boolean, and it is either can be false or it can be either false, true. So then what we are going to do for the print out our out. So we just write in here system print out, right? And then when you click in here S, from the keyboard, and you can select the S out and just enter, you are going to directly system out print for the output. So what is the R variable? It is the speed. I'm going to say speed, and when I execute my code, it's going to give the result. So our result is false because I just assign as a false. Yeah. Let's go to the byte type, the second one. The byte type is the data type can have values between the -18020 and 227. So it is 8-bit signed to complement integer. So this is mean, for example, the byte is very important in here, what I'm telling. So in the future, when you getting in advance, getting writing to huge codes, and you need the size going to be important for you. So then sometimes to save the memory, instead of using the integer, they are using bytes because its size is smaller, lower. And how we are going to write? We are just writing here byte, right? And you can give the any numbers between the -128 to 127. So I'm going to delete the false, and I will just give in here, for example, -125, right? Or and see what's going to be we will get, and I'm going to just run, and we get a -28. So let's go to the other variables. It is short type. So short type is the also Java type, has a values. It is bigger than the byte. So its value is going to be minus 32,768. So I want to just write in here. I want you guys going to see that. And also I want to mention it in here. If you want to write a comment, we are using the double slash. So then the comment is very important when you're using to, for example, when you work with a team, and when other person see your code without you, they're supposed to understand why you write this code in here, why you wrote your variables in here, why you assign it, why you create any loops or any things, you know. So they're supposed to understand. So for it, you need to write the comment. So write a comment, you be using the double slash. And I said, okay, for example, I will say short values is from minus 32 and 1786, right? To positive value, it's going to be 32 767, because we are always going to the -1. Just to keep it in your mind. So then why it is the, for example, when you think about it, it is positive. So it is going to be this number is equal to, for -1, this number equal to this number. Yeah. And you don't have to memorize, you know, so whenever you want already, you can just find it on internet. So it's not a big deal, just to know it. And it is the 16 byte. So this is mean it is bigger than the byte. So we are going to write in here on the short. And it, for example, you talk about it, temperatures or any other things, it is bigger than this number or smaller than this number. We are going to write in the short, right? You are going to assign as a short. For example, I will write in here -250 and or 273 Fahrenheit, something like that, Kelvin. Sorry, and it is the. Let's go right here. So I got my value. So let's go to our other type. It is the integer. We talk about integer so many times, so it is good we're using commonly. So its value is going to be the short values. It's going to be integer. Integer going to be it is bigger than the short. It is 32 byte, and we can write -2 over the 31 to 2 over 31, okay, and -1. So we can write it, the range between these numbers, and it is going to be int, right? So all right, now we assign our variables as an integer type, right? And then this is the numbers, and this range can be between these two numbers, and it is the 32 byte. So let's go to the our long type. Long type is the bigger than the integer, so it's going to be -2 over 63 and 2 over 63 -1. So then you can write in here long integer, longer than the integer, but this is the different than the integer. It is size, and it is the literal of the integer. So when you mention it, the number, for example, when you write, I will say 35,000 something, blah blah. I will just write, and you have to put it in here L to mention it the top of your computer, the numbers. So in here it is, as you see in here, it is the bigger, because we talk about it short, right? and I will write in here, sorry, it is the long type. I will write long, and I get in here the warning because it is a long, because I put it in here L, right? And it didn't like it what I wrote in here. So you can just execute your code. So it is bigger than the integer. And let's go to the and when you put it in here L, it is the, as I told you, this is just to mention it, teach the, and just to give the treats. It is the integer, the literal of the integer, just to mention it. And when you execute your code, of course, you will not see the L. You will just getting the number, right? Just numbers in here. So let's go to the double. So for the doubles, double using for the fraction, and for example, you have a decimals, and for example, you have a 2. You can write 2, but if you want to go to the like a fractional, like dot 0.6, you know, and you need to write double with the integer. You cannot write in this format. So it is value. You can write like the integer, but it's not the. It cannot go to the very braces. So for the braces, we are going to use the float. We are going to talk about it. So it is the 64 bytes, and I will see double. I will just delete it. And when we execute, we can get it the R value, 2.6, and also the R other type is the float. So I'm going to write in here float, but to mention it, this is the float is the literal of the double. So to mention it for your mention, you should write in here F or big F, upper case F, and it's going to give you. But float is different than double, and it is size is 32 bytes, and it is using for the braces values. You can use it for the currency. So you can use it for the instead of the double, and the size is the smaller. And let's go to the chart type. And chart type is a little bit different. It is the 60 byte Unicode character. So we are going to write char, and we assign as a char. So this is the, for example, you can write in here the we write in the single quote, right, between single quote, but this is Unicode. It is different than the numbers. So just keep it in your mind. 051, and your values between these characters. So when you, for example, system print out, this character, all of them represent the letter and then alphabet. So when you write in here, you are gonna see Q. See, we present Q because this different kind of the, how can I say it, in the language, it is the code, you know. So for example, when I write in here letter 1, okay, and I'm going to write in here letter 1, and I will assign inside the single quotes for example 7. Right now 7 in here assign as a character, right? So when I execute my code, it will give me the 7. However, if you go and letter 2 equal without the single quotes, if you write number, for example 65, it is going to represent an alphabet letter, because see, it is called it is going to be letter 1, and I will say letter 2, and when I execute, it's going to give you alphabet A, because in the ASC2 this value A is the 65, which is the reason why we're getting to 65. But if you write it the 65 in single quotes, it will give me the as a character and 65. And yeah, of course we cannot write more than the one character, because if you write, it's going to be string. So I will just write a 6, and you will get into the result as a 6. So let's go to the string type. The string is not a it is not a primitive type. It is an object. So it is the Java. It is the string class object. So we are calling. So it is string is the. For example, we are in here. We know the character, right? So sequence of the character is the string. So make the string. We using the character and create the string. So let's see string, and I can say letter 2. I already have it. I don't want to go to the far away. So we are using the double quotes, and you can write Hakan Java class or lesson or tutorials. Yeah, and as you see in here, we sometimes it is a typo mistake or spelling. Intellij is fix it, and it's show it there is a typo mistake. So you can fix it either clicking in here or say Alt Shift and Enter. So when you click the all three keys. So I will just replace and see. It says the calls, but I try to write in here class. Yeah, and of course we are just closing here the semicolon. So it's going to give me the, as you see in here, each one is the represent the character. But when you create the sequence of the character, we create the string. And string, as you see in here, it is the not the different color, and it is starting with the upper case. So it is the difference. Yeah, our the primitive, and it is our Java data type is done for today. We finish it, and I want to stop in here. So see you next video, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Thank you.